Namaste to all the viewers to this national webinar series on Yoga Ramayana Vishwa Kosha history. Continuing our series on Sangeeta Ramayana by Mrs. Bhavana Pradyumnaji, let's have a wonderful retreat on Aranya Kanda.
Sangeeta Ramayana, Aranya Kanda. Rama, Sita and Lakshmana now enter the great forest called Dandaka and adore the eminent sages who are in penance and hermitages in that forest. This canto is named as Aranya Kanda not just to show that Rama roved over these forests, but as per the tradition, as per the Sanatana Dharma, forests are the treasure houses of knowledge and they are the ultimate in Vedic culture. Rama is now stepping into an area called Janasthana, meaning people's place. The Janasthana is the place where Rama eradicated certain negative aspects and brought peace to the people living there, offering sacred rituals and following the path of the Vedic tradition. Bhavayami Raghuramam Bhavya Sugunaramam Bhavayami Raghuramam Bhavya Sugunaramam Bhavayami Raghuramam Vitatadandakaranyagatavirathadalanam Vitatadandakaranyagatavirathadalanam Sucharita Ghatajadattanupamita Vaishnavastram Sucharita Ghatajadattanupamita Vaishnavastram Sucharita Ghatajadattanupamita Vaishnavastram Patagavara Jatayunutam Panchavati Vihitavasam Patagavara Jatayunutam Panchavati Vihitavasam Atighora Shurpanakha Vachanagata Kharadiharam Atighora Shurpanakha Vachanagata Kharadiharam Vitatadandakarannya. Rama, the one who went to the Dandaka forest and the one who destroyed the demon Viradha, the one who was gifted the matchless Vaishnava weapon by the virtuous Rishi Agastya Muni, the one who was born from the pot. Agastya Muni was born in a pot. The one who is worshipped by the chief of birds, Patagavara Jatayu, the one whose abode was put in order in Panchavati. Rama destroyed Khara, who came on the word of the very horrible demoness Shurpanakha, Ghora Shurpanakha. Vitatadanda विततदण्डकारण्यागत आगत रामागत. On entering the impenetrable Dandaka forest, that courageous and the heroic Rama saw a cluster of hermitages of sages. Koshachir parikshiptam brahmya lakshya samavritam yatha pradiptam durdarsham gagane gagane suryamandalam gagane suryamandalam. Overspread with darbha, the sacred grass, and jute clothing, well pervaded with Vedic splendor and well glowing like the unseeable solar arena in the sky with the naked eye, Rama enters this forest full of glory. This connotes a Vedic import in saying that Supreme is far beyond the solar orbit. In Ishavasya Upanishad, we hear the following mantra. हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पूषन्नपावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये. On looking at the rising red sun, the devotee is asking, O Pushan, O sun god, the nourisher of this universe, the trueness of the Supreme is covered by your golden disc-like vessel. Slide it aside, for as a truthful and righteous devotee, I visualize that which is beyond your golden solar disc. This is said to be the coming of Supreme into lower abode of solar orbit from his supreme abode, Vaikunta. Now Rama and Sita are passing through this dazzling solar orbit like hermitage to present themselves before the true devotees and even to eradicate the wicked. God reveals himself. Somamivodyantam drishtva vai te to somamivodyantam drishtva vai dharmacharinam lakshmanam chaiva drishtva tu lakshmanam chaiva drishtva tu vaidehi cha yashaswini वैदेहीं च यशस्विनी मङ्गलानि प्रयञ्जनाः प्रत्यगृह्णान् दृढव्रताः those sages who are austerely committed to vows on their seeing of Rama, the treader on the path of rectitude, and who is now rising like the moon, and at Lakshmana and at glorious Sita as well, rendered Vedic blessings and welcomed the trio.
जय श्री राम। ॐ सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपाद स्वभूमिम् विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलम् पुरुष एवेदगुम् सर्वम् यद्धूतम् यच्छ भव्यम् उतामृतत्वस्येषानः यदह्नेनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतोऽध्यायागुश्च पूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतम् दिवि त्रिपादोऽध्वोदयित्पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः ततो विश्वम् व्यक्रामत् साहनानशने अभि तस्माद्विराडजायत विराजो अधिपूरुषः स जातो अत्यरिच्छत पश्चाद्धो विमथो पुरः यत्पुरुषेण हविषाः देवाशग्नमतन्वत वसन्तो अस्यासीदाज्यम् ग्रीष्मयुध्मः शरद्धविः सप्तास्यासन्वरिधयः त्रिः सप्तसमिधः कृताः देवायज्ञम् तन्वानाः अबध्नन् पुरुषम् पशुम् तैर्यज्ञम् बर्हिषि प्रोक्षन् पुरुषम् जातमग्रतः तेन देवा अयजन्त साध्याऋषयश्च ये तस्माज्जज्ञात् सर्वहुतः सम्भृतम् वृषदाज्यम् पशोगुस्तागुश्चक्रे वाचव्यान् आरण्यान् ग्राम्याश्च ये तस्माज्जज्ञात् सर्वहुतः रुचः सामानि जग्निरे छन्दांसि जग्निरे तस्मात् यजुस्तस्मादजायत तस्मादश्वा अजायन्त एकेचोभयादतः गावो हजग्निरे तस्माज्जाता अजावयः यत्पुरुषम् व्यदधुः कतेथाव्यकल्पयन् मुखम् किमस्य गौ बाहु काभूरोपादामुच्येते ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् बाहोरागन्यः कृतः ऊरो ततस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भागम् शूद्रो
Finding and eradicating demons was one of the oath that Rama took, and the sages rendered Vedic blessings. This is Tilaka, or known as Rama Tilaka. Rama and Lakshmana come to know about the curse of Viradha. Viradha desires to die in the hands of Rama according to the amendment given by the cursing authority, and thus he will be killed and relieved of his curse by Rama, and his elimination of negative forces starts with the elimination of Viradha. At the time of release from his curse, Viradha advises Rama to go to sage Sharabhanga, who can advise Rama properly. It is said, whenever a superior being is approached, he shall not be neared empty-handedly. Sutikshna asks Rama to stay at his own hermitage, which has no other problems than the wild animals that come in herds and make blaring noises. Rama wishes to kill those animals that hamper the tranquility of the hermits living therein. But having observed the kindness of Sutikshna towards these wild animals, however disturbing they may be, Rama refrains to kill them and would like to go and spend his life in some other place. They just spend that night there. One of the different Ramayanas that I have been discussing now would be the Adhyatma Ramayana. Adhyatma Ramayana represents the story of Rama in a spiritual context. The text constitutes over 35% of the chapters of Brahmanda Purana, which is circulated as an independent text in the Vaishnavism tradition and is an Advaita Vedanta treatise of over 65 chapters and 4,500 verses. Rama, Lakshmana and Sita, the text represents Rama as the Brahman, mapping all Saguna of Rama to the Nirguna nature. Adhyatma Ramayana raises every mundane activity of Rama to a spiritual or transcendent level, the story into symbolism, thus instructing the seeker to view his or her own life through the symbolic vision for his soul, where the external life is but a metaphor for the eternal journey of the soul in Advaita terminology. The book is aimed to be used as a guide and a ready source of instruction for a spiritual seeker, as it represents Ramayana as a divine allegory. The text also influenced the popular Ramacharita by Sri Tulsidas. Viradha is a cursed demon whom Rama encounters first. Adhyatma Ramayana describes this as follows. Mam na janasi Ramatvam viradham loka vishrutam madbhayan munayah madbhayan munayah sarve त्यक्त्वा वनमितो गताः यदि जीवितुमिच्छस्ति यदि जीवितुमिच्छास्ति यदि जीवितुमिच्छास्ति त्यक्त्वा सीतां निरायुधो सीतां त्यक्त्वा निरायुधो पलायतं शीघ्रं भक्षयामि युवामहम् भक्षयामि युवामहम्. He said, "O Sri Rama, don't you know me? I am the world famous Viradha. It is due to my fear that all the resident hermits and sages have fled and abandoned this forest and have gone away to some other place. If you wish to live, then leave Sita here and run away without your arms. Otherwise, I shall immediately eat the two of you." Tatha sarpa इवासेन ग्रसितुं तथा सर्प तथा सर्प तथा सर्प इवासेन ग्रसितुं राममापतत् तथोर्धचन्द्राकार रुधिरौघेण पपात धरणीतले तथा सीता समालिङ्ग्यं समालिङ्ग्य प्रशंस रघूत्तमम्. Then he crawled forward to swallow Sri Rama in his mouth like a large snake. At this, Sri Rama sliced off his head with an arrow shaped like a crescent moon. The demon became drenched in blood and immediately fell on the ground. Seeing him dead in this manner, Sita embraced the most exalted son of Raghu's clan, Sri Rama, and showered immense praises on him. Purandaradasa, born in 1494, Srinivasa Nayaka became the disciple of the great saint Vyasaraja, who gave him the title Purandara Vithala after the Lord of Pandrapur. From that day on, Srinivasa Nayaka came to be known as Purandaradasa. Purandaradasa is considered to be the father of Carnatic music as he formalized the music system, which was a blend of various traditions of South Indian and the musical science as explained in the Vedas. He devised a system of teaching Carnatic music in graded lessons. Purandaradasa identified 84 ragas. Each of his lyric is a beautiful musical composition. His works touched a variety of musical types like kritis, kirtanas, padams, and even rare forms like ugaboga. His influence on Carnatic music is profound. Sri Tyagaraja was greatly influenced by him and offered homage to him in his Prahlada Bhakti Vijayam. Tadana शरणु सकलोद्धार असुरकुल संहार शरणु सकलोद्धार असुरकुल संहार शरणु दशरथ बाल जानकी लोल शरणु सकलोद्धार असुरकुल संहार शरणु दशरथ बाल जानकी लोल शरणु सकलोद्धार ಈ ಮುದ್ದು ಮುಖ ನೋಡಿ ತನುವಿನ ಕಾಂತಿ ಈ ಬಿಲ್ಲು ಈ ಬಾಣ ತಾನಿಂತ ಭಾವ ಈ ಮುದ್ದು ಮುಖ ನೋಡಿ ತನುವಿನ ಕಾಂತಿ ಈ ಬಿಲ್ಲು ಈ ಬಾಣ ತಾನಿಂತ ಭಾವ ಈ ತಮ್ಮ ಈ ಸೀತ ಈ ತಮ್ಮ ಈ ಸೀತ ಇದೆಲ್ಟರೆ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಯಾವ ದೇವರಿ ಉಂಟೋ ಮೂಲೋಕದೊಳಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಈ ಸೀತ ಇದೆಲ್ಟರೆ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಯಾವ ದೇವರಿಗುಂಟೋ ಮುಲ್ಲೋಕದೊಳಗೆ असुरकुल संहार शरणु दशरथ बाल जानकी लोल जानकी लोल ಭಾವಿಸಲು ಅಯೋಧ್ಯ ಪಟ್ಟಣದ ಪುರವಾಸ ಬೇಡಿದ ಇಷ್ಟಾರ್ಥವನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವಿನಿಯನುದ ನೋಡಿ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡಿದವರ ಕೊಡುವ ನೋಡಿ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡಿದವರ ಕೊಡುವ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲರಾಯ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲ ರಾಯ ಶರಣು ಸಕಲೋದಾರ असुरकुल संहार शरणु दशरथ बाल जानकी लोल शरणु सकलोद्धार सुचरित घटजदत्तानोपमित वैष्णवास्त्रं सुचरित घटजदत्तानोपमित वैष्णवास्त्रं सुचरित घटज the one who was gifted the matchless Vaishnava weapon, Astra, by the virtuous Agastya Ghataja, the one born in a pot. Agastya and his wife Lopamudra are the celebrated authors of hymns 1.165 to 1.191 in the Sanskrit text Rig Veda and other Vedic literature. He is one of the 7 most revered rishis, the one among the Sapta Rishi in the Vedic text, and is referred as one of the Tamil Siddhar in the Shaivism tradition, who invented an early grammar of the Tamil language. Agatyam, playing a pioneering role in the development of Tamraparnian medicine and spirituality at the Shaiva centers. Agastya was indeed a great rishi. The Ramavataram, or the Kamba Ramayana, another form, another treatise which spoke about the greatness of Rama, is an epic of about 11,000 stanzas written around the 12th century and was first delivered in Sri Ranganatha Swami Temple, Srirangam at the Court Hall, Kambar Arangetra Mandapam near Tayar Sannidhi. Kamba Ramayanam, which has more than 10,000 songs and 45,000 lines, forms one of the greatest of Tamil epics.
அன்று அவனும் அன்போடு தழி அழுது கண்ணால் நன்று வரவு என்று பல் அனல் உரை பகர்ந்தான் என்றும் உளதென்தமிழ் இயம்பி இசை கொண்டார்.
Rama fell at the feet of Agastya. Agastya affectionately embraced Rama and uttered welcome and many good words with tears swelling in his eyes. Agastya, who became famous by uttering the ever-present Southern Tamil.
விழும இது சுற்றனு இவ்வில் இது இவன் மேல்நாள் முழுமதுள்வன் வைத்துள்ளது மூவுலகும் யானும் வழிபடை இருப்பது இது தன்னை வழிவாழிக்குழு வழியில் புட்டிலொடு கோடி என நல்கி. Then Agastya told, "You have told what is appropriate. The bow that is here with me was once used by Lord Vishnu and is being worshipped by me and all the 3 worlds. Take this bow for me as well as sharp arrows and matchless quiver."
Agastya and his wife Lopamudra met Rama, Sita and Lakshmana during their exile and gives them a divine bow and arrow. Bhavayami Raghuramam Patagavarajatayunutam Panchavati Vihitavasam Patagavarajatayunutam Panchavati Vihitavasam Patagavarajatayunutam Panchavati Vihitavasam Jatayu Patagavarajatayunutam Patagavarajatayunutam. Surdas sings in praise of all the devotees in the bhajan Dinana Dukkaharanya, in which he refers Geet, Jatayu. Surdas was a 16th century blind Hindu devotional poet and singer who was known for his works written in praise of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. He was a great Vaishnava, a devotee of Lord Krishna, and is respected and revered by all the Vaishnava traditions and others alike. They are usually written in Braj Bhasha, one of the two literary dialects of Hindi. Surdas is usually regarded as having taken his inspiration from the teachings of Sri Hit Harivansha Chandra Mahaprabhu, another also called as Hit Harivamsha, who lived during 1502 and 1552 as a Braj language Bhakti poet Sant and the founder of Radha Vallabha Sampradaya. His principal work is the hymnical Hit Chaurasi. दीनन दुख हरण देव संतन सुखदाई 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 दीनन दुख हरण देव अजामिल गीध व्याध इनमें कहो कौन साध अजामिल गीध व्याध इनमें कहो कौन साध पंची हो पड़े पड़ावत पचे हो पड़े पड़ावत घनी का सितारी जा मिले गीत व्याध इनमें कहो कौन साध पंछी हो पड़े पड़ावत घनी का सितारी दीनन दुख हरण देव संतन सुखदाई सुखदाई O Lord, you relieve the poor of their misery. You do good to the faithful. Ajamila, a vulture and the hunter, who was not the fallen one, and the one who made the parrot learn and speak. You have uplifted them all. Surdas, this blind beggar is at your doorstep, O Lord, hoping that you will protect him too. Ati ghor shurpanakha vachanagata kharadidaram. Ati ghor shurpanakha vachanagata kharadidaram. घोर शूर्पणखा अति घोर शूर्पणखा शूर्पणखा Rama averred Shurpanakha, who is the sister of the demon Ravana. Shurpanakha advances towards him and asks her to seek Lakshmana instead. Rama averts Shurpanakha's advances towards him and rather asks her to seek Lakshmana. Lakshmana uses wordplay in retorting her in her own words, but she takes the apparent meaning of Lakshmana's words and rushes to eat away Sita. Lakshmana defaces her and she noisily runs away from there, only to report to her brother Khara, a violent demon. This is the triggering situation of another round of troubles to Rama, and thus Ramayana begins. Rama iti ukto Lakshmanah tasyah kruddho Ramasya pashyatah udhritya खड्गं चिच्छेद कर्णदासं महाबलः लक्ष्मणः तस्याः क्रुद्धो रामस्य पश्यतः चिच्चहेत् कर्णनासं महाबलः. And now Shurpanakha ran away from that place to go to her brother Khara and tell him what had happened to her and how she was disfigured by Rama and Lakshmana. Khara comes to Panchavati. Rama and Khara exchange a haughty worldly duel, and when the demon Khara charges at Rama, Rama eliminates Khara with arrow made available to him through sage Agastya by the king of gods, namely Indra, because Indra is a sensible one about the future course of events, and he is also prosperous in securing impossible weaponry, and now Rama fitted such an arrow on his bow and raised it towards Khara. Gods and sages showered flowery rain. Sita and Lakshmana return from their hiding cave, and Sita becomes very happy on seeing her victorious and indefatigable husband. To summarize till Aranyakanda, here is a composition of Saint Composer Annamaya, who is the avatar of Nandaka, sword of Vishnu, Tallapaka Annamacharya. He lived during the 14th and 15th century, like 14,408 to 1503. also popularly known as Annamaya, the Hindu saint, and the earliest known Indian musician to compose songs called Sankirtanas in praise of Venkateshwara, another form of Vishnu. Rajivanetraya Raghavaya Namo. Rajivanetraya Raghavaya Namo. Saujanya Nilayaya Janakeshaya Rajivanetraya Raghavaya Namo. Saujanya Nilayaya Janakeshaya Rajivanetraya Raghavaya Namo. Dasharatha Tanujaya Tatakadhamanaya Kushika Sambhavaya Jnagopanaya. Dasharatha Tanujaya Dasharatha Tanujaya Tatakadamanaya Kushika Sambhavaya Jnagopanaya. Pashupati Mahadhanurbanjanaya Namo. Vishada Bhargava Rama Vijayakaranaya Rajiva Netraya Raghavaya Namo. Bharita Dharmaya Shurpanakaharanaya Kharadushanadi Ripukandanaya. Bharita Dharmaya Shurpanakaharanaya Kharadushanadi Ripukandanaya. Tarani Sambhava Sainya Rakshakaya Namo. 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 Rama eliminates the 14,000 demons led by Dushana. Firstly, the 4 running demons are killed, next Dushana is routed, and then 12 other captains who, on knowing Dushana's downfall, dash towards Rama. Left behind are only 2 Khara and Trishira, who also eventually are defeated and killed by Rama. Thus, Shurpanaka, watching all this, now runs away to her elder brother Ravana. Shurpanaka taunts Ravana for his unkingly activities, by which his kingdom is going to face a calamitous situation soon. While jibing at him, she narrates how a king really fit for kingship shall conduct the affairs of kingdom. She speaks many paradigms on which many commentaries are declined, basing on kings and their vices. Ravana inquires about Rama's valor and weaponry, for which Shurpanaka narrates about Rama, Sita and Lakshmana and what had happened to her in the Janasthana. Thus, she prompts Ravana to achieve Sita as his wife, for none surpasses Sita in her beauty. We will continue the rest in the next episode. Jai Shri Ram. Namaste.
Thank you for your wonderful retreat. Let us meet again tomorrow with another Kanda. Namaste.